Welcome back to MCP Connects. Today we visit the magical land of Los Angeles to connect with our friend, the amazing Michael Carbonaro. Michael talks about the wonder of magic, and he tells us how he's been staying positive and creative during quarantine. He also performs and dedicates an illusion to our rock stars and hospitals around the world. Prepare yourself for the Wonder Maker!
Hello.
Hi.
Michael Carbonaro
What can I get for you?
has an effect on people. Hiding in plain sight,
I'm just trying to figure out this ball return.
he makes them fall for the impossible.
Just going right here, I had them open up that part and I'm fully adjustable. So this part here. Oh,
Oh my God. Wait the hell a second. Does that not look like Kelly?
It totally looks like Kelly.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh, that is freaking me out.
Shut the up, man.
What's up, brother? What's going on, Shaq?
excuse my language, but I'm a little creeped out.
I thought it got sucked into that thing.
Oh, hell no.
Oh my gosh, there's a fire.
I wouldn't even worry about it. Just watch out. Frame in the hole!
What? Each one of them will secrete just a small amount, and I just gently massage like that. Oh, you see that?
This world is getting crazy.
Wait.
Oh my god.
This is the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
Holy It's not really any of our business to judge what somebody keeps inside there, so we're not really allowed to make a judgment call.
Like, nobody is gonna believe us.
And now, basically, life is changing.
Yeah,
The whole universe is changing.
that's right. Things are shifting around.
Is everybody ready for the magic show?
Joining us from Los Angeles, California, magician and star of the Carbonaro effect on True TV, and also the Magician of the Year from the Academy of Magical Arts, Michael Carbonaro! Yeah,
here.
go! Appeared out of nowhere!
I appeared from nowhere. It's magic.
Gosh! A ninja or magician, I'm not sure, but that was magical.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, you know, considering the world is crazy.
Yes.
I am doing great, though. I'm feeling good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm, likewise, doing well. I think we talked a little bit before this started, but, making the most of what's happening. I mean, rather than focusing on the kind of the negativity and what we've all lost through this scenario,
Right.
focusing on the positivity of relationship and what we can all gain through this scenario.
100%. I feel the same way. You know, I was really against all kinds of like talking to computers and doing interviews through the screen at first. I was like, because it was so much so fast. And then it became like, I noticed that on the other side of it, I was really connecting with people again.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to do live is connect with people. And I was like, I had a need for it. The people have a need for it. And, I found happiness in being able to do this now, things like this. So.
Well, speaking of magic, right? I mean, the fact that we can do this while you're in LA, we're up here north of Seattle, and we can connect and have this dialogue. And man, just to see your face, it feels good to see your face. We were supposed to be together on March 21st doing an event, and I think Washington State shut down on March 20th.
Yeah, we were right down to the wire with that one.
Yeah.
That was right at the time when things were shutting down. And we're like, are we going to make it? We might just make it. Wait, we're going to make it a little different, and then we're not going to make it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was a constant adaptation, right, to where we adapted to nothingness. It was.
Yeah.
But here we are.
But you guys had an event of sorts.
We did.
gathering, a
Yeah,
virtual
exactly.
gathering.
So, and just like you said, it was that complete, quick, and utter transformation to a fully online thing, and
Yeah.
and it was the same for us. We learned that while that's not the direction that we wanted to have to go, there was still really positive connection, and there was good feedback, and there was a way for us to continue, not just kind of a hollow connecting for the sake of connecting, but an actual emotional connection, which is really what we need right now,
Absolutely. Yeah. I noticed that I got to perform and work for Tannen's Magic Camp, which is a yearly event I used to go to as a kid. It was like the greatest week-long sleepaway camp, all magic. And they have it every year. And I've tried to go back since, and teach there. And this year I was going to go the whole week, and then it got stopped down, and they did a virtual version.
Okay.
And it ended up being, I felt that was the first time I really clicked with people on the other side, where I was like, wow, I have a need to express still. And there's people up there who want to learn magic, and we're going back and forth. And it was really lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that actually cues up one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Is I'm just curious, tell me about your history with magic. Do you have like a moment or a memory where it just clicked and it was, that kind of profound experience you had that made you go, yes, this is for me?
Yes, actually, I recall as a very young child seeing Doug Henning.
Magic on Broadway, starring Doug Henning. 1, 2, 3, it's me!
But he did an illusion in his show where he took, there was a guest star on the show, I forget her name, but she stepped into this tube and he flattened her down into this flat, like, disc. And she just, he compressed her and she just vanished and flattened into a disc. And you saw her face on the front of the disc. And I was half terrified and half like amazed out of my mind, because it was the most incredible thing I had ever seen. And I had just thought, wait, he's a magician, so he can do things like that. So I didn't know it was a trick yet. I just thought like, whoa, magicians have access to powers that I've never heard of.
Powers.
And I want to do that. And so that was really my first like big memory of a stage illusion that clicked off learning what magic was.
Yeah.
And luckily I ended up on the TV show, The Carbonaro Effect, in the first season. One of the like big dreams my whole life was always to do a riff on that trick.
Oh.
And we'll put some clips here for you. We'll give you those. But and the riff I got to do on that trick was at a pet shop, where I contacted the actual builder of that prop who built it for Doug Henning back then. And we made an illusion where I took somebody's pet dog and flattened it into a flat disc for storage. And then I had this whole catalog of other dog discs, and I pulled it out and put it in and opened up a different dog and took that dog out. And I convinced the people in the pet store that this was a new like compression nap system for traveling with your pet.
So, okay. So speaking of this, right? Well, and dogs, you did a skit, and these skits they're just brilliant, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many, now it's collective hours that I've sat and just rolled watching the creativity and the episodes that you put together for the Carbonaro Effect are amazing. So I've got a couple of questions. One, how do you keep a straight face when people are losing their minds?
Yeah, I ask myself that same question when I'm watching the show later, because when I'm shooting the show and doing hidden camera is hard enough. It's hard enough to keep a secret that there's cameras hiding and that everything that's about to happen is sort of set up in a way that this person can't have any idea that it's even being filmed. So that alone is enough pressure to hide all that. Then to make sure that I'm doing new, like you said, it's so many tricks. We did like 115 episodes of that TV show. So we're making up tricks and learning them as fast as possible. Some of them I just got the final details this morning and I'm about to perform it. So when I'm doing the trick for the person right there, I'm so focused and nervous that I'm not going to get it right, and that the angle is right and the camera can see it and the person's watching and the trick happens, that I kind of am not paying attention to really
You're in the moment.
Right. When I watch it later, I see their face and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a good thing I'm so nervous about making the trick work, because I would be laughing. Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of which, we're going to roll a video and it's called Puppification, right? So it's similar using pets, but her response, just the way, so they're so bought in on it. So tell us about, creating that trick and how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, this was a really cool concept where we came up with this idea of it's sort of like a dog spa, like a rejuvenation, something that would make your dog feel better. And you know how people are always getting facials and youth treatments and stuff. So we're like, what if there was a fancy pet spa that had something like that for a dog. And so we found a dog groomer that let us set up this place and live in there, keep our set in there and keep our hidden cameras in. And I hired someone from another pet store who thought they were just going to be working with me for the day. And she came in and she'd never seen a machine like this. And you're about to see what the machine can do.
Response, man, it's the it's
that
the
crazy?
face that is so bought in on what just took place in front of their eyes.
It's amazing. It's ridiculous when you look at, you're like, first of all, there's no way that can happen to a dog. And absolutely there's no way that can happen to a person, right? But if it's right in front of you, I mean, there we were in that room, she's seeing exactly what you're seeing.
Yeah.
It happened. Like, what's not to believe when you see it happen? And we're so excited about that. And what was interesting, because this was a little fight with the TV network, but not a fight, but like, they didn't know that I wasn't going to turn back to myself before the end of the show. And I that's what I wanted to do, because we didn't know if we had another season coming. We still don't know. So I was like, this might be the last episode of my TV show. So how cool would it be to turn to a kid and not turn back, and then not turn back and let the credits roll, you know?
Well,
and so the network, we were shooting that, and the network's like, wait, is he going to turn back? They were like on the phone, and I'm like, no, that would be great. And then they're like, how about you turn back? I'm like, no, I got to stay a kid and end the show as a kid. So
well, that's so good, right? Because then the kid goes up and introduces himself as Michael Carbonaro, and it's okay, hi, you know.
Exactly.
But
there's that
thing where it doesn't even matter that you're telling them this is a hidden camera TV show. They're like, no, it doesn't matter because I just watched what happened, you know.
So true. I mean, it's funny, like sometimes the ones like that, that's in the realm of science, you know, where there's a new machine that can do this bizarre science. Sure. Sometimes that's easy, but I find that the one thing that's really something like someone will always believe in something that has like a little bit of a haunted or superstitious flair to it, because, you know, we get nervous. We're all like, as much as I'm, you know, I love horror movies. I got into magic through special effects, but, you know, I'm taking the garbage out at night and it's dark and sound, all of a sudden my human instincts make me nervous, you know? So when you put someone into sort of a supernatural situation, they'll always believe in it. And we have another clip we can show for one of the ones we did that was really in the haunted superstition land. And what's funny about that one is the guy, after I revealed to him, you'll see he still doesn't want to believe that it was just a trick.
That's it. It's so real. The experience is so like immediate for them. They can't believe that it didn't just happen.
Yeah, exactly right. It's funny too, because we were jamming in the magic room. It's me and a bunch of magic friends. You know, I got a team of 5 guys that we all hang out. They're magicians I've known since Magic Camp. And we all talk and like, what can we do on the show? We come up with ideas. We try and outdo each other. And they're incredible magicians. They're the reason why I could have so many episodes of this show happen, because I could never make up all of those ideas as quickly as we can together as a team. So it's good to have collaboration and friends. But one of the things they asked, you know, we were like, hey, if this was going to be a last episode of the Carbonaro Effect, I was like, what would happen to me? Like, what would happen to Michael at the last episode? And so we're all jamming. And one of my buddies was like, why don't you turn into a cat? Because I love cats. I'm like cat crazy. So I was like, well, that would be an interesting episode if as a finale, I turn into a cat and never turn back. So we didn't do that, but that's kind of where the inspiration for the puppification trick came, where I turned to a kid, which we found was a lot sweeter. Well, but then we took the cat idea and we went into another realm. So we can show that one.
Let's do that.
Let's take a look. Okay, this one's a little spooky.
Okay, so the brilliance of this skit is, like you say, it's just in that realm enough where there's just nobody's certain about it, right? There's superstition, there's those child fears, there's all of that where you're playing on that to such a degree that you just have to buy in, you know?
You got to believe it. It's happening right in front of your face. And like, all the little breadcrumbs along the way, you know, like when he starts seeing the weird things around the house and something's off, that girl's acting weird, the closet's got a red light, like it just like, what's happening? And then as it happens in front of you, your brain kind of goes like, even though you've heard all those stories and you've been told they're just movies, and you've been told it's just legends and story, you know, all of a sudden your brain goes, nope, I knew it was real. I knew it. Seeing it's happening. I knew
science is complete fraud. I knew this stuff was real.
Yeah, that guy was great. Oh my gosh, he was so in. and he's like in love with that girl. So when there was like an attraction there or something.
Totally right.
Yeah, no. So when she turns into the old lady, whew, he's just, you could feel his soul drop. How terrifying is that?
Well, and it happens so fast, right? I mean, so tell me, because this is the other side, right? Where it's been through post, you're watching it, but it happens as fast in real life as it happens on the episode, right? That's not edited. That's just boom, boom, she's old.
No, boom, boom, she's old. The magic moment is. I mean, sometimes the whole scene takes us longer and we do have to condense it for TV, obviously, but the moments of magic, everything that you're seeing, you know, we're in a contained room, the lady's in the middle of the room, she lifts that thing and drops it, she's old, the other person is nowhere to be seen. It's a true transformation. You're seeing just what he saw and felt. And I would even say he's even more freaked out than you are at home. Like at home, you can kind of watch it on the screen and go, oh, I wonder how the trick works. Yeah. But when you're right in the room, you're like, I was just talking to this girl, and in the middle of a sentence, she turned into an old woman. I mean, that is...
Oh my gosh, it's brilliant. And it's not, for him, it's not a TV show, right? He's there as like a temp job to, to do this thing. And you can see it. I mean, it's written so plainly in his eyes and in his facial expression. I think, to me, that's like half the brilliance of the show, right? Is that the reaction is so spontaneous and so authentic that you can feel it on this side.
Yeah, and I have no idea where they're going to go, what they're going to say, what they're going to ask. I have to control where they stand so the trick looks right to them, so the trick looks right to the camera, so the camera can see them. So, like all those little things that go into that. And then obviously you see that's where the cat idea ended up going.
Yes,
The witch turned into the cat. Because I really love the idea of someone turning into a cat, but that's actually what developed that whole segment, which we called Witch Tenant. That's what that segment was.
It's so good, man. So I imagine you are a brilliant makeup artist, right? I mean, I've seen some of the things you've done for, like Halloween or just for your shows and stuff. It's got to be a ball to have all of these alter egos that you get to be for the show and just be that role, right? Get into it. How does that feel?
Absolutely. I mean, my first love was special effects makeup, and Halloween, like you said, is still crazy for me. I go all out on Halloween and create some amazing monsters and characters and special effects. And it was my way into magic. Really, as a kid, I wanted to be a special effects makeup artist. I would sculpt, masks and horror monsters, and I'd go crazy on Halloween then. And I used to buy makeup supplies for my special effects at a magic shop that was in town.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I started looking at the magic on the other side of the store. I had seen that Doug Henning show as a kid, and there's something about magic and special effects that all live in the same world. And it's funny, they're literally in the same store. You go to a magic shop, you can find one these days that's not online, right? And there are some still around. Magic shop's got like magic tricks, pranks, gags, horror, monsters, masks, makeup. That's like everything I love. And like you said, that's like all the stuff that ends up somehow into a Carbonaro effect scenario.
Yeah. Man, it's incredible use of the art form for sure. What are you working on now? I mean, you mentioned that maybe you are, as far as Carbonaro effect goes, perpetually a child now. What else do you do? Do you have something new you're working on now?
Yeah, it's so funny too, because people are always like, you're going to get so recognized that you're not going to be able to do this anymore. And I'm like, hold the phone. Because first of all, I never knew I was going to do that many episodes. So I can't believe we've gotten away with this many without being recognized. But my real passion is being a magician and connecting with people. And it doesn't have to be with hidden cameras. Like I do my live tour. I've done work with you guys. We put on big shows at theaters, and I bring people up from the audience, and they kind of get like a Carbonaro effect experience hands-on while the audience is watching. So I love live entertainment. And obviously that's shut down with COVID in the world right now, but it's given me a place to kind of a needed break, really. I've been on a 6-year intense ride with the TV show and the live touring. So I've gotten to really sit and kind of start writing in my journals again and looking back to my old magic ideas, my old magic dreams, and coming up with new things that I'm gonna get to put out. And some of them more immediate. Like one idea I have, I'm working on doing a series of drive-in movie theater magic shows. so it can happen now. I went to go see a drive-in movie together with my husband a couple of months back, and I'm like, we're all watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's COVID, everyone's being safe, everyone's in their cars, and we're all watching this movie. And I'm like looking at the screen, I'm looking at the people, and I'm like, why aren't I doing my show up there? I could do my show here at a drive-in. So we've been working on that and coming up with some really cool segments that happen like out in the crowd with the cars and weird things, and keeping it all safe and getting to do something live now. So I'm hoping, I got my first booking is going to be in mid-September. And I've got hopefully a run of 2 weeks of other drive-ins that we're putting together. So that's huge. And that and a couple of TV projects too, some new shows. I'm working on making sort of a hybrid magic/variety show where I could be on stage and have guests each week. And all of that's just luckily in a place where I could kind of dream it out and write it down and get it going.
Yeah. Well, good. Congrats, man. I think I'm just so... your live performance is funny because after having seen so many Carbonaro effects, I wondered how will this translate to stage? And when we worked together to support kids in hospitals all over the world, your performance was, every bit as compelling, if not more so, because like you say, it's there, it's live, you're watching it happen in front of your face, and you're such a natural entertainer and connect with the crowd and with the kids in the hospital so powerfully. It's incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. I spent the bulk of my youth, once I knew I wanted to be a magician, and like I said, special effects kind of brought me to magic. And once I started playing with those tricks at the store and performing them for my friends and family, I found that I really liked connecting to people. And I was like, oh, I like performing. So where special effects is more of a kind of private, quiet, alone art, magic was like, wow, I can connect with people. So I spent my teenage years all the way through college performing for family audiences at birthday parties. And, I had my own little business as a magician, birthday parties and company picnics and fire department Christmas shows. And I was always in front of a large live family crowd.
Yeah.
So after the Carbonaro effect, and once it was time to tour after Carbonaro effect or during Carbonaro effect, when I'm back out on the road, I had some stuff in my pocket and some real training, and like I was back in my playground. I'm like, I love being live in front of real people. So I was luckily prepared for that.
That's your element. It's how you cut your teeth, coming up and doing it live. That's huge. Yep. So tell me, I'm really curious because there's this side to magic, right? That it's just pure fun. It's just happiness and joy and this this moment of awe. But there's another side to it that it's really powerful, and that joy and that happiness. Especially if you look, kind of in the situation we're in right now, there's a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of depression that's coming out of the situation that we're in, and people are trying to figure out how to deal with it. What does it mean to you that your passion and your art form and the way you connect on stage is something that's a lot more than just entertainment? It's bringing happiness and smiles and joy when it's really needed.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And like you said, magic inherently is like that. And now even more than ever in this world, it's a needed thing. I think at the heart of it, what magic does, pandemic, crisis, or depression aside, what magic even does anyway, just in an ordinary, normal life, is it gives you a moment when you have that, you see a trick and you go, that instant reaction. What's happening is you're seeing the possibility of the universe operating in a way you didn't know it worked. And you go, wait a minute, is there really a trap door in the middle of the air where a magician can pull a coin from nowhere? Or can something really vanish? Or can something really turn into a dove? Like you go, like you see something that you didn't think was real. And that brings a kind of inspiration.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you feel like everything. You feel like, if like even for the kids out there that are like in the hospital, it feels like every day, you're in the same thing. And in our lives, we're like, oh, we're always doing this. Life is this. And it's only going to be this. And I think I know everything. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you see something and go, oh, wait, I've never seen that before. That's how does that? And it brings curiosity. Yeah. And it brings wonder. And we need that. Like wonder is the food for the mind.
Yeah.
And that's what magic brings. And I'm so excited that I get to be like a transient. Is that a word?
Wonder maker.
A wonder maker. That works better. A wonder maker. I just need my sequence.
Use your stage voice. Wonder maker.
A wonder maker. I am a wonder maker.
But it's so true. Yeah. I think the fact that that you turned into a child And it was left on that note is perfect because that's exactly what you're bringing back to these people that, like you say, maybe are jaded or just a little bit, you know, we're all a little bit callous, a little rough around the edges, but to have that childlike joy again is such a gift.
You know, and that's the kind of magic. And in my time off right now, I've been deeply studying Doug Henning. And Doug Henning, who a lot of kids and adults might not even know who he is. Like, he was the first TV celebrity magician, and he was about that joy in a way that other magicians kind of, you know, magic kind of turned for a while into like the look what I can do, like ego, like presto, that's me, I made that happen. Where Doug Henning lived in a world where I like to live, which is a little more like, whoa, we're experiencing this together. And isn't that amazing? And it's not like I did that, you can't do it. It's more like, wow, the world can actually be magical. How fun is that?
Well, yeah, and you're creating the wonder that then you get to participate in because it's that reflective thing that's an exchanged experience that's great.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I could see through, like, if I try and look through the lens of the camera there, I can see we got some people watching.
Yes.
It's like, right? I can see. I'm trying to like use my almost psychic eye.
Yeah, you can spot them.
Lens. I can sort of see, is that someone's in Texas there, right? Mason?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So Mason in Texas there. There's a Faith. I'm seeing Faith. Is that Minnesota? I see Faith in Minnesota, it looks like. Kira in Vermont, I see. And whoa, this one's really far away. Australia? We got someone watching from Australia over there. Who is that? That looks like Luca? I'm seeing Luca, and whoa, another one far away, all the way over in Scotland. Tommy's watching from Scotland. That's crazy. I could see that through there. Bunch of people. Oh, full buildings, right? The Sydney Children's.
Yeah, you absolutely. Are you sensing like the aura, the emotional presence?
I can feel them watching me. It's like as a unit. Some I see direct kids watching. There's a whole bunch over at Seacrest Studios.
Yes.
Seeing a whole bunch watching. Children's National DC, George Mark Children's, I'm seeing it, and there's one more. There's a whole bunch of kids over there. Starlight Children's Foundation. Kids are watching from there right now, aren't they?
How in the world?
Yeah, it's a little.
It's spooky. Magic. You are a wonder maker.
You might want to cover your camera lens.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know just how much could be seen through that camera lens.
I have hidden cameras set up in everybody's home across the entire globe. It was a big investment, but it was worth it. No, I don't. Of course I don't.
P.S. My last name is Google. Or
yes.
No.
Right.
Man, do you have a trick that you would like to perform for these amazing rock stars that are watching around the world?
Oh yeah, all the rock stars that are out there watching. And yeah, sure. I mean, I it's not a trick. It's kind of an illusion. Is that all right?
Right.
There's a difference.
Yes. Shut my mouth. There absolutely is.
No, it's an optical illusion, and it's one of the first things I learned as a kid. When I learned, you know, it was actually in science. A science teacher showed me this experiment, and I went, "Wait a minute, is that magic?" And he said, "No, it's an optical illusion." And I went, "Optical illusion? What is that?" That's the first time I kind of learned that word. So I love this. This is great. And I'll show it to you. It'll look good on camera. You use a coin, and I'm going to take a quarter here. And if you see, it's really shiny because if I go like that, it makes, you can see the shine right there. And it's kind of like a mirror, if you think about it. A coin is like a little bit of a mirrored lens. And I've got a pen right here. I'm going to color in the coin with this orange marker. And what that does is it actually makes the coin turn into a colored mirror refractor.
Right.
And you're like, what the heck is that? But I'll show you what it can do. Because obviously a coin is shiny like a mirror. And when the light bounces off of it, now the light's going to bounce off, and the light that bounces off is going to be kind of an orange tone. And that's where the secret comes in. So I'm going to take a glass here, and I'll put that right there so you guys can see it. Oh, that works. Okay. Look, it's floating. And I'm going to put some water into this glass because it will magnify anything that goes behind it. So we got this coin right here. It's shiny orange. And okay, great. So if I put this coin behind here, it sort of looks if you could see it in there. Where is it? See, it looks like a big coin.
Yeah.
Right? You kind of see that in there? A big coin, right?
Yeah.
And then if I take it and look, you touch it and drop it, it creates the illusion. Now that's an optical illusion.
That's
it looks like
a swimming quarter.
It's a swimming quarter, right? It looks like your mind thinks it sees a goldfish, but that's
you would
just
swear it's a
optical
fish,
illusion.
but that's an illusion.
Right. It almost looks like a quarter with little fins, doesn't it? You can see his belly is still round. It's sort of a hybrid fish quarter, but that's not really a fish. It's just an optical illusion. Or is it really a fish? Am I lying? Is lying magic? I don't know, but I bet you're wondering. And wonder is a good place to be.
I'm Wonder Maker.
I am the Wonder Maker. That's what we'll name you, little guy, little Wonder Maker.
That's amazing, man.
Thanks. So I'm gonna keep him.
I love it. So what do you have? Tell me you're gonna drink that quarter.
No.
Okay.
No
all right.
way.
Okay. All right.
He's a friend now. I'll leave him right there.
Do you have a moment that you can remember performing illusions and creating wonder that was profound, that you created a connection for somebody else or a doorway that just brought them to a place, something that was powerful for you but was powerful for them as well?
Well, I've seen directly hands-on people who've gotten to come to my show and have told me that, maybe they had surgery or they had just, I've had people who just lost their father, and they said that watching my show got them through these rough times, that they would sit home and the show brought them joy and laughter. And when I get to see someone tell that to me with their eyes looking in my eyes, it's always unbelievably profound and moving. And, even the letters, I get letters like that all the time. And I hear from people about how I'm thinking oh, I got to make magic and it has to look real. And then all of a sudden on the other side, people are like, your magic has brought me out of a kind of darkness, or your magic helped me get through something. And thank you for that. Or your magic show reminds me of my mom. We used to watch it together. And now whenever it comes on, I remember her. Just some deep connections. And that's the most beautiful magic. That's real magic.
Yeah. Agreed. That human connection. So we always ask a question, and melodic is very based on music, but it's been so incredible to step outside of that and connect with you, right? And bring the wonder to the kids in a whole different way. But we always ask this question, and the question is, what does music mean to you in one word? But for you, I'm going to adapt it and say, what does magic mean to you in one word? Can you sum it up?
Wow. I'm glad that was because I thought you were going to say, because you work with musicians, the one question you were going to ask me to sing a song or something. So no. Okay. So magic, what does magic mean to me in one word? I would say hope. Yeah. It's going back to that. There's possibility, there's inspiration. When you see it, you go, oh, maybe the world works differently than I thought. And isn't that exciting? And that's hope. Yeah.
I think that's really powerful, and like you say, obviously there's been multiple instances where your passion has connected with folks, and they might be going through really difficult times. I mean, I know that, some of the rock stars that are watching today are going through some really hard stuff, and that wonder will bring them hope. So thank you, man. Just thank you so much for the joy that you bring into the world and the intention that you put into your work and into your connection with other people. It means the world.
Thank you so much, and thanks for doing this. And hey, rock stars out there, thanks for watching. I hope maybe I made you smile a little. Maybe you got a little bit of wonder going on in your mind. And I know things get dark and it gets tough, and it does for everybody in their own way, and some more than others, but there is hope. And I hope I brought a little of that to you guys today.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're a musician and would like to join us in supporting hospitalized kids, email us at rockstar@melodiccaring.org. I'm Levi Ware, and this is the Melodic Caring Project.